Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are. Hello! Thank you for watching my videos. It's Mike. It's February 10th, 2009. And all is well. Or is it? Well, if you are a reader of the Daily Star, now I've never shown the Daily Star on these little reports because generally I don't read them. But I thought today, well, okay, there's some really big news, which I'll get to in a second, but I thought, this is such big news. What are the smaller papers covering, and the ones that are aimed at, truckers and things? What are they actually talking about? Well, the Daily Star today, 20p, 10p less than the Sun. Their front page has a scantily clad woman basically explaining the things that you can buy for your Valentine, which I'll get to in a second. And, of course, the bottom is Rihanna beaten up by lover. Okay, I thought, well, there's got to be something in here, so I went flipping through. Oh, pardon me, opening it backwards. Now, I took out page 3 because I figured you didn't need to see that. But on the back, on page 2, there's a very interesting little article here. You can let fat cats... No, you let fat cats off hook gourd. And basically showing how the Star is supporting the British workers in their desire to have a change. Now, with regards to the... So that's what they're telling truckers and workers and things, which is cool. This is what I want, so that's cool. That's good. I wish they would talk about some other things, too. The Valentine's gifts. Okay, here's a suggestion if you're thinking of what to get your boyfriend or your husband who's really into music. There's a really cool gadget there, which is a turntable with a built-in CD writer on it. Now, unfortunately, the price over here is £350. I wonder how many they're going to sell of that one. Lots and lots and lots. So, the Sun! The Sun! Now, I did want to show the Sun for two reasons. One is, the second page is worse than the Great Depression. Okay, so they're actually telling people in the Sun that things are really bad, which is good. And then on page 3, which I've covered up the naughty bits, little Greek men. So their second main headline is that fighter jets called out to a UFO over Athens. Okay. Yes. Now, the real news. Now that I've rambled. This is the worst recession for over 100 years. Now this is Ed Ball. He's the Prime Minister's closest ally, and he used to work in the Bank of England, I think. No, he used to work in the Treasury, and he's basically, he is an economist, and he actually knows what he's talking about. So I thought that was remarkable that they had that on the Independent. Now, the other story in the Independent, which I will link, so you can go check this out. There's a lot of talk right now from Iran, and the speech that was given yesterday, essentially saying, we have weapons of mass destruction, don't mess with us. And of course there's a election going on in Israel, and we expect Binyamin Netanyahu to actually win. So, and he's not a good guy to have in office, basically. Okay, this article here, I can't read it because it's backwards. But, positive signals from Iran, but only if you listen carefully. So basically there's sword rattling in the Middle East going on, as well as over in Russia. Now, this is all very, very bad. Alistair Darling came out in the Independent and also said, came right out and said, the banks are to blame for this crisis. Okay, Alistair, what about the regulators that let the banks get away with this crap? Huh? What about the regulations that were changed to allow them to do things like synthetic CDOs? The insanity of all that. I think you're pointing the finger somewhere, trying to place the blame somewhere else. So please don't pass the buck. The blame should be fairly distributed between yourselves, regulators, and the banks. Right, Barclays defends derivatives-led growth as balance sheet balloons. Okay, last night I promised I would record something while I was drunk. I will have a second video, which is me rambling. And you'll probably laugh your heads off. So that's fine. What I was attempting to say last night was Barclays. Barclays has increased their balance sheet an incredible amount. It's grown, the assets and liabilities each have mushroomed to more than £2 trillion on their balance sheets. And everybody's excited because they made $6 billion last week, or last quarter. $6 billion's nothing. It's less than 1% of their total balance sheet. This thing is ready to explode at any second. I wish people would figure that one out. Okay, so that was the Barclays bit, and if you want to look at me drunk, you can. I was too drunk to upload last night. It was hilarious. I promised you I would. I don't normally do that on a school night, but I knew today I had nothing to do, so. Okay, now, yesterday's Financial Times, if I can find the article. I moved it over here. This is from Goldman Sachs. This is from a chap at Goldman Sachs, Lloyd Blankfin. And if you want, you can read the whole article. Do not destroy the essential catalyst of risk. He's basically saying without risk, there can be no economic growth. The man is insane. However, right, so UBS makes £11.3 billion loss and axes another 2,000 jobs. This was announced this morning. UBS is, a Swiss bank, and yeah, they're going down the toilet really fast. So watch them. They're pretty bad. Now, one of the links, because of all the Reinhardt stuff, I thought, well, this is interesting. I'll take a look at this link. And because of the comment that I look like Leonardo DiCaprio, no, in real life I don't look anything like this. Top 5 scams and how to dodge them. This is from the Telegraph today. So if you're worried about what's happening with finances and trying to figure out how you can make some money in this kind of economy, please read this article, because it will give you some insight into the kind of shenanigans people are getting up to out there. Stimulus filibuster shut down in Senate. Okay, so this was the vote last night in the Senate. This may be the triggering event, who knows? It could also be the triggering event was Obama going on at 8 o'clock at night. It could be anything. So we'll wait and see. We'll see what the trigger was. As one of my comments said, it may merely be the fluttering of a butterfly's wing that brings down the economy. And with the nonsense that's out there in the derivatives market, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the flutter of a butterfly's wing. Okay, global economy everywhere is having difficulty. Hong Kong, Asia, anywhere in Asia is just tanking all of a sudden. German manufacturing is down a remarkable amount, so please go look this up. This is not a US problem. This is a worldwide problem, and it looks like the way they're lining up the news stories with this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, the last 100 years of financial mess. They're lining it up to get people ready for the collapse. And get people out there actually thinking, oh my word, what will happen? Oh, we're going to have to turn to government to help us. This is why Darling is pointing the blame at the banks. It ain't the banks. It is the banks, but it's not just them. There's all kinds of people involved in this mess, so do not be diverted from the truth. Okay. Stimulus filibuster shuts down the shutdown in Senate. Now, what's a filibuster? I've included a link, so you can go investigate that if you've never heard of the word. And finally, if you were following along with the Treasury story, Treasuries are nuts. This is Financial Times today. Yes, all eyes on sudden spike in Treasury yields. What does that mean? That means that nobody wants to buy the stuff, and the yields are going up. If the yields go up on the Treasuries, then the United States government won't be able to sell quite as much of them, because they don't have enough money to pay the yields. Not without selling more Treasuries, which will go up and increase the yields, and they don't have the money. So, this week, $171 billion of Treasuries, assorted Treasuries, are to be sold, are to be auctioned. Now, yesterday's auction seemed to have gone okay. There are 2 today. There's a brand new one, which was announced yesterday, which is the 4-week notes, 4-week bills, rather. They've suddenly said, right, we need an extra $36 billion. And we're going to sell them off in 4-week notes, bills. This is madness. I don't know who's going to buy this stuff, and people should be watching. Okay, everyone. It's an exciting day. And I know I go on about the economy, but there's other kinds of other stuff going on. But the economy is where you should be focusing your attention. Even without Reinhardt. There's some bad stuff out there, and it's just waiting, poised on a knife edge to collapse. The fact that Reinhardt pointed this out 3 or 4 months ago as to the week when this would occur is fairly impressive. We'll just wait and see before we call him a complete idiot. I don't think he is. I think he has a point. Peace, love, understanding. Think about things, folks. I will try later to have another report. Cheers.